Morning friends, Ben back again with another technical video. Not much of a deal, but then again, there have been a lot of requests on my message section. I've been going through all the messages and I've been trying to find out what are the topics that I've missed out on, which will definitely do some good for all of you guys out there. And I'm trying to make videos on the same. This time it's again about my Cyclops LED. Many of you guys have asked me if the back of the LED, that is the fan portion, the housing for the fan, touches the back side of the cowl. You know, you have the headlamp cowl where this goes in. So that goes into a cowl or a housing or a casing, and there's this one common doubt which I have seen floating across all the forums, all the platforms, that is whether the fan of the LED bulb touches the housing, and if it does, what do we do? You can't really shove it in beyond a point, you know, and you can't really fasten the bolts on both the sides. There's one here and there's one here. So there's only two screws that hold the headlamp to the housing. Very well engineered that the headlamp sits there forever and ever. But the problem is the quality, the material quality of the casing or the cowl is very, very weak. And so it starts cracking beyond a point of time. I've discussed that particular issue in great detail on another video called the plastic welding video. I will drop a link. So what I am trying to do here is I'm trying to show you how it is, my setup, that the back side of it. This is how it sits from the front inside the cowling. So I have my LED fan, which I have kind of, you know, drilled through my rubber casing into the reflector housing. And this cap, this boot, this rubber boot is extremely important. I can't stress on the importance of the rubber boot. Otherwise, you will if you omit this, if you delete this and then shove in the LED bulb thinking that that's going to be doing it for you, then you will very soon start seeing all sorts of muck and dirt and debris inside this. And you do not want that to happen. That's the last thing you want to happen to your reflector housing. Definitely see to it that you somehow, of course, what I have done, many of you might not be able to do. You need a steady pair of hands and some experience to be able to drill the exact dia hole and then shove this in. But if you guys can't do it, drill a larger hole and then shove this in. What is important is a tight fit here, a snug fit. But the distance between them is just about that. That's the difference between the top of the fan to the back side of the cowl, the headlight cowl. But then again, that is not what's important. Each model, that is, this particular is Cyclops, this one is Cyclops Ultra. But there are plenty of other LED manufacturers out there that make LED bulbs which have a longer back. That is, the fan portion of it is going to be really wide and you will not be able to put it in. And there are fellows who make slimmer ones than this. So each LED manufacturer will have a certain length of the whole LED bulb, and some will fit inside your cowl, some will not fit inside your cowl. So if it doesn't fit inside your cowl, then what you need to do is, I'll be attaching a picture now, you'll be able to see. Yeah, so now as you can see, what you need to do is you need to drill a hole exactly this dia on the back of the cowl. So on the plastic cowl, if you drill a hole which is this diameter, or if you want to increase the length of it, it's up to you, depending on how waterproof that whole area is. If it's a nicely designed area where there is no, you know for a fact that there's no water that's going to seep in from the back side of the cowl into the headlight assembly, then you can of course make a larger hole. But if it's a little tricky, then you're good with just the exact diameter of this particular fan unit here. So make a hole on the plastic cowling and you are done with the fitment part of it. But then again, what's more important is ventilation. So if you do not have a decent sized gap between the fan and the backside of the cowling, that is, the cowl should sit somewhere like this. And if it doesn't, if it's like this, if it's super close to the LED bulb, then what you need to do is you need to definitely make a hole, is because you need this hot air to be sent out. You know, this fan sucks in air from the LED strips, the Cree LED emitters and the motherboard, the board there, and it sucks air from there and sends it outwards. So you do not want that hot air floating around inside the cowl, which is a very tight fit, and then later start affecting the overall temperature inside this unit. Rather, you would want to send it out ASAP. And if you have a nice and wide, bigger cowl, that is with a nice big long back, then the air still has some room to float around before it slowly starts coming out of these cracks. Not these cracks, this particular gap here. But if you do not have a cowl like that, and if the cowl is almost touching the fan, then you know for a fact that that air is going to be bouncing back into the fan. So it's going to be creating a lot of turbulence, a lot of fan noise, and your fan will soon start to lose its balance, and it will start spinning freely, and that'll be the end of the fan unit. All sorts of things can happen. Heat is not good for this LED bulb. This bulb generates a lot of heat, and if there's too much heat in the system inside, in and around here, then the bulb is going to go for a toss very soon. So the best thing to do is drill a hole on the back side of the cowl and then let this air pass through or come out. These bulbs are waterproof. By that what I mean is you can dip this into a jar of water and still run it. It'll work really well. So not too much of a worry, considering that these bulbs are waterproof. But then again, what's more important is these bulbs are not heat proof. So only so much of heat is good for these bulbs, LED bulbs, any kind of them. And this is Cyclops. This is one of the best manufacturers out there, top of the line brands out there. And if heat is not good for these fellas, then you are definitely screwing your other LED bulbs that you might have from Auxbeam, Night Eye, and so on and so forth. So that being said, this is my setup. What I have here is my LED bulb through the rubber boot into the reflector housing. So these ballasts, these fellows are the fellows who regulate current from my battery to the bulb. These bulbs, I think this particular fellow, this bulb here is 30 watts if I am correct. I'm not sure if I'm quoting the right information, but somewhere yeah, that's 38 watts. There you go. This is 38 watt, whereas the stock bulb is 55-60 watts. And if you run a lower wattage bulb on your motorcycle, it's definitely bound to develop some error codes in your ECU. Your ECU will detect this as a flaw in the system and will develop an error code, and maybe your engine check light may come on, and it's called a CAN bus error. And your OBD tools will be able to diagnose that and will be able to tell you that the fault lies with your electrical system, or maybe it will narrow it down to the headlight bulb. So yes, drawing lower wattage, lower current is good. By that I mean I can have the LED bulb on, turned on. Mine is a BS4, so there's no switch off the headlight facility. I'll have to keep the headlight running all the time, even if I kill the engine. So as long as I turn off the don't turn off the ignition, the headlight continues to work. So what I'm trying to say here is I don't have a problem running a 38 watt LED bulb because I have a ballast here, and this regulates the current. This takes care of the mismatch, and I have absolutely no issues. Nothing develop as an error code or the engine malfunction light come on. If you run an LED bulb, kindly do not get yourselves LED bulbs that don't come with a ballast, that don't come with a regulator. If you get one, it's just a matter of time before they start flickering, they start developing issues, and they will soon go off. You're bound to be faced with something like that. Maybe a month, maybe a year, maybe two at the most. Those bulbs will not run to the fullest of their capacity and lifespan. They will soon start failing. You will see one Cree emitter fail after the other, and you will lose them. So it's important that you get yourself a ballast, and if it's ballast compatible with the bulb, nothing like it. Of course, you can mix and match ballast to the bulbs, and you can get ballast from aftermarket manufacturers, and you can put them onto your bulb. But all said and done, if the manufacturer makes the ballast for the bulb, nothing like it. Get LED bulbs from people who sell the two of them together. Now, there was another question running in my mind that many of you have asked. That is, does the ballast fit inside the reflector housing? And this is my setup for it. This is how I have fixed it. What you see here on the bottom is a foam layer, and again, if you were to zoom in close, if you were to check this area out, I don't know if you guys can see it. Again, if I were to zoom in close, you will see that this is my reflector, and this is my ballast, and this is my reflector, and in between them I have another foam layer. So this technically is stuck to that foam, and that foam is stuck to the reflector, whereas this is more this foam here. This layer of foam here acts more like a spacer. This fellow acts like a spacer. So that's how my setup is for the ballast. This setup goes inside a small rubber boot or another cowl, and then sits perfectly. I'm missing out on the most important thing. I have a bit of a soft foam here. This is hard foam, whereas this is soft foam. Why I have it here is I have tried to get rid of the all of these components here. They tend to vibrate and create kind of a noise which gets to you after a point of time. It's a tiny bit of a noise if you pay a lot of attention, but then again, most of you might not catch it. But because I'm a little too sensitive to these little things, I did something like this. I put in a nice soft foam layer inside like that, again to see to it that everything is snug, nothing moves around freely, and there's no noise now from my headlight unit. So that's the whole of it. This is the whole setup here. The foam has a big rectangular hole in the center, and I've shoved it in, the soft foam. Not much of a deal, I'll just show it to you guys what I mean. So that's the foam layer, and that's the headlight, ballast, and the connectors, and so the foam goes back on like this, and that's the whole of it. So if this video did help someone out there, I'll be more than happy, because that's the whole point of the video. Cyclops LEDs are expensive, but I've used them on my motorcycle. This is my first Cyclops. I haven't used a Cyclops before this. I've used a lot of LED bulbs, but this is the first time I got myself a Cyclops, and I highly recommend this product. It's just a matter of put it in and forget about it. That's how good the build quality of the bulb is, and the waterproofing aspect of it, which is very, very important. So $7,000 well spent, and I've never really had problems with my lighting, my throw after I installed this. Says a lot about the quality of the bulb. So if any of you guys want to get yourself a Cyclops, then this is what you need to do. This is Ben signing out for now. Ciao. That is how you clean the insides of the reflector and the glass. I take a brush, a paint brush. That's because I'm an artist. I have plenty of them in stock. And some tissue, good quality tissue that can absorb a lot of dirt and dust and not keep transferring it around. And then a combination of this goes inside from that hole, and I wipe the glass clean first and then the reflector, and that is what you're left with once you have done a decent job. Pretty easy, not much of a deal.